Once upon a time, in a prosperous kingdom, there ruled a kind and intelligent king. However, he had only one leg and one eye. Despite his physical limitations, he governed wisely, ensuring that his people lived in harmony and good health. One day, while walking through the palace corridors, the king admired the portraits of his ancestors, each depicting the rulers before him. He realized that one day, his descendants would also walk these halls, remembering him through his portrait. However, he was hesitant. How would his portrait turn out, given his appearance? Determined, he summoned the finest painters from his and neighboring kingdoms. Standing before them, he announced, "I wish to have a beautiful portrait of myself to be placed in the palace. The artist who creates the best painting will be handsomely rewarded." The painters, however, hesitated. They silently wondered how they could make a visually appealing portrait of a king with one leg and one eye. Fearing the king's displeasure if the portrait did not turn out well, they declined one by one, making polite excuses. Then a confident painter stepped forward and said, "Your Majesty, I will create a portrait that you will truly love." The king smiled at his enthusiasm, while the others remained curious and skeptical. With the king's approval, the painter set to work, pouring his heart and skill into the canvas. He carefully selected his colors and took his time to bring the vision to life. Finally, the moment arrived. The court was filled with anticipation and nervousness. How had the painter managed to make the king's portrait beautiful? Would the king approve, or would he be angered? As the painter unveiled the masterpiece, a wave of astonishment swept through the court. The painting depicted the king majestically seated on a horse, showcasing his strength and valor. He was positioned in a way that cleverly concealed his missing leg, while his closed eye made sense as he was aiming an arrow with his bow. The portrait was both lifelike and inspiring. The king was deeply pleased. "You have not only painted my image, but also captured my essence," he said, rewarding the painter generously. Moral of the story: a positive perspective can transform how we see the world. Instead of focusing on flaws, we should recognize strengths and possibilities. When we approach challenges with optimism, we can turn even the most difficult situations into opportunities.